the first steps to being a star, and Winston Churchill to win $10,000 in cash if you are a contestant on Hitman. And now here's the host of Hitman, Peter Tomarkin.
Oh, thank you, Roddy. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Hitman. You know what we're going to do. We're going to make the instant experts on another subject, actually two of them, just like we did last time. And we found out that when whales stay underwater for more than 40 minutes, they're just like you and me. They drowned. We have more of those where that came from, so stick with us. Right now, let's meet the players who can actually play our game, starting with Sheila.
Hi, Peter.
Hi, Sheila.
I'm Sheila DeMarco. I'm originally from Woodside, New York. I'm currently living in Bakersfield, California for the past 16 months. I'm very happily married, expecting my first baby in May. I'm a registered nurse, and I love to watch football.
Terrific. So you can watch football and have a baby.
Right.
In May. We got enough time for the show? Good.
So.
All right. Welcome to Hitman.
Thank you.
Okay, let's meet our second player, Bart.
I'm Bart Barrett. I'm a newlywed. I've been married for 7 months. I go to school in Huntington Beach, majoring in biology, hoping to get into the medical field. I play basketball when I get a chance, a guitar in my teeth.
You play your teeth?
Yes.
Okay, play your teeth. Oh, hey! What a guy, what a night, what a band. Okay, good to have you with us, Bart. Can you top that, Liz?
Oh, I don't think so. My name's Liz Frost. I'm originally from Kansas City. Came out here to go to college to major in marine biology because I love to scuba dive. But I changed to communications, and I love to cook.
Terrific. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Can you play your teeth?
No.
Okay, these are our three challengers. Now let's meet our champion, Woodrun Alexander. How are you, Woodrun?
Fine.
Now, are you planning to go back east, first class now?
Yes.
You're on a roll. You're on a roll. We're not going to stop it. We're going to go right ahead with it, okay?
Okay.
In just a minute, we're going to be showing our contestants and you out there our first story. Now, Woodrun, as usual, will be watching from off stage, so we'll see you at the end of round one, and we'll be seeing all of you right after this. Now all the questions we're going to ask in round one are going to be based on a story. The story of the first steps to being a star. We've all heard the story of how Lana Turner became a star. She was just sitting at the counter of Schwab's drugstore in Hollywood, sipping a vaulted through a straw, and suddenly she was discovered. The chances of this happening to you are as slim as that straw. Most stars have worked long and hard before they ever found work. Anne Margaret began taking dance lessons when she was 7. When she was 16, she appeared on Ted Mack's Amateur Hour. Her big break didn't come until George Burns hired her to be in his nightclub act. Sometimes big breaks never come. In case they don't, Carol Burnett's advice is to have a trade to fall back on. But Carol didn't take her own advice. After studying drama at UCLA, Carol went off to New York to try acting. She worked as a hat check girl until she landed a role on TV on The Gary Moore Show. She also starred on Broadway in the show Once Upon a Mattress. This is one of the few cases where a mattress actually took an actress to the top. Now for the awful truth. There are 56,000 members in the Screen Actors Guild, the actors' union which is known as SAG. And only 5% of them make a living from acting. Many work nights as waiters or waitresses, leaving their days free to go to auditions. Comedian Lily Tomlin says that she's always dreamed of becoming a waitress, but show business got in her way. The goal of most actors, of course, is stardom, although sometimes it has its price. In Betty Davis's autobiography, The Lonely Life, she tells how lonely it can be at the top. On the other hand, Bette Midler pointed out it's lonely at the bottom, too. As an aspiring actor, once you get to Hollywood, you should read the trade papers, like Variety. These papers contain all the show business news. Then you should try to get an agent, or as Variety says, a 10%er. Agents are called that because they get 10% of an actor's salary. The biggest agencies are the William Morris Agency and ICM. That stands for International Creative Management. But there are many others. SAG has a whole list of them. Before an agent will see you, you must send him what is called a headshot, a photo of your face. Burt Reynolds once used his baby pictures to get a job on the TV show M Squad. But you'll do better with a more recent photo. This Just remember, even Humphrey Bogart's first job was as a Japanese valet, and he had only one line. So be prepared for long years of hard work. Nobody ever drops out of the sky and becomes a star. Well, almost nobody. All right, that's our story on stars. And Frankie Scarlett, yeah. What do you think? Think it'll work for me? That won't work? Oh, boy, is it bleeding? Everything's coming off. That's our first story, as you can tell, and our game is played in two very different rounds. Round one, our three challengers will be fighting it out in order to determine which two of them are going to go on to do battle with our reigning champion later on in round two. We make that determination by running our little race. Whichever two of you crosses that finish line first will be the two who get to go on to meet the champion in round two. Unfortunately, whoever comes in third doesn't get that chance. What that means is each person has to get the hands on the buzzers because only 2 out of 3 win. Ready? Here comes your first question. Name the comedienne who says she always dreamed of being a waitress, Bart.
Lily Tomlin.
You're right, and Bart moves out. Well done. Got that newlywed fever. Okay. Whose big break came when George Burns hired Bart?
And Margaret.
Hired her for his nightclub act, and Margaret is right. Bart's on a roll. What is the full name of the union called SAG? Sheila.
Screen Actors Guild.
You're right, Sheila. You move up. Name the actress who is supposed to have been discovered sitting at a drugstore counter, Bart.
Nana Turner.
Vanna Turner is right, Bart. I can't read them fast enough for you, can I, Bart?
No.
Okay, here we go. What is the name of the autobiography which tells you... Bart?
The Lonely Life.
Lonely Life is right. Bart moves up. You are now, Bart, you are so far up that you're one step away from being our first winner. Very quickly done. This question could put you over. Here it is. What is the name of the autobiography? I did it, see? I was going to check to see if you were awake, Bart. Okay. Now we're going to the next question. Name the star who advised having a trade to fall back on, Bart.
Carol Burnett.
You are right, and you're the champ. First winner, that is $300 for you. Well done. That means you know where you're going. You're going to meet that champ in round two, and you get to relax if you can do that, Bart. I'm not sure you can. While Sheila and Liz decide who's going to join you, and they start almost from scratch, although Sheila's one step up on Liz. Here's your question, ladies. Name the star whose first acting job was as a Japanese... Liz.
Humphrey Bogart.
Ballet, Humphrey Bogart is right. It took a moment, but you got it. Well done. You're not tied with Sheila. What is another term for a photo of an actor's face? Liz?
Headshot.
Headshot is right. Liz moves one up on Sheila. Well done. Anne Margaret appeared on what show with Sheila?
Ted Mack's Amateur Hour.
16, Ted Mack is correct. You guys are both tied. What star pointed out it's lonely at the bottom? Sheila.
Bette Midler.
Bette Midler is right. Okay, and it is lonely at the bottom. Sheila, trust me. Okay, you're one step up on Liz. Here's your question. Name the star who once worked as a hat check girl. Sheila.
Carol Burnett.
You are right. I thought you were going to say Peter Tamarkin, but that wouldn't have been right. Okay, Sheila, you are now one step away from being our second winner, and Liz, as you know, there can only be two. Here's the question. Name a big agency other than ICM, Liz.
William Morrissey.
You are right, Liz. One step behind Sheila. She's right on your heels, Sheila. Can you handle that?
I think so.
Okay, here comes the question for Sheila and Liz. What was the name of the drugstore where Lana... Sheila.
Schwab's.
You got it right. Schwab's is the drugstore, Sheila. And you're our second winner. You know what? You got $200 for you. You're already ahead of the game. And, of course, you're going to join Fast Bart in that battle against that champion in round two. A distinction I don't know about because Woodrun's pretty tough. Now, Liz, well done. You gave it a go. I thank you for being with us. We got some nice prizes for you. Thank you. Okay. We'll be back in just a moment to see just how well our two challengers do battle against that champion in round two right after this. Round two of Hitman with our two winners. We've got Bart, $300 richer for coming in first in round one. Well done, Bart. And, of course, Sheila for coming in second. You got yourself $200. All right, you're both already ahead of the game. However, round two is played entirely differently from round one because in this round, of course, the challengers attempt to unseat the champion. Therefore, let's meet our champ one more time. She is our champion of 5 days, Woodrun Alexander. All right, Woodrun, you got a smile on your face is much broader today.
No.
I guess that's an $18,300 smile.
Yes, it is.
Now, I understand that you make furniture.
Yes, I enjoy interior decorating, and sometimes I make bookcases and tables, and then I make drapes and pillows to match.
Well, now you're a wealthy lady. I don't know if you have to do that anymore.
Now I have to buy a house.
I can buy a house. All right. Let's see what we can do with round two. Are you all ready?
Yes.
Okay, in round two, we see a brand new story, and that is Winston Churchill of Great Britain. If the old saying, there will always be an England, is true, it's because of men like Winston Churchill. Winston was a young man in a hurry. In fact, he was born 6 weeks prematurely. Because of his sudden desire to be born, his mother only had time to get to a cloakroom, and that's where the future prime minister entered the world. Winston attended Sandhurst, a military school, and after graduation, he joined the cavalry. But it was as a civilian that Winston first became a national hero. It was while he was covering the Boer War as a civilian correspondent for the Morning Post. Within 2 weeks, he was taken prisoner. He made his daring escape by climbing the wall while the sentry's back was turned, then boldly walked past the rest of the guards. When they heard about it back home, Winston became an instant hero. By 1901, Mr. Churchill was back in England and took his father's old seat in the House of Commons. And it was another member of Parliament, Lady Astor, who proved to Winston that, well, you can't be popular with everybody. A story is told that she once told Churchill, "If you were my husband, I'd put poison in your tea." To which Winston replied, "If I were your husband, I'd drink it." It might be said, England owes thanks to Winston. No, we didn't say thanks, although they probably owe him that too. You see, just as World War I was about to break out in 1914, Mr. Churchill held the office of First Lord of the Admiralty. He had some naval engineers design and build the first tanks. At the time, they were called Winston's Folly, but they proved to be a valuable weapon in the war. After World War I, Mr. Churchill spent most of his leisure time painting, mostly landscapes and still lifes. But he also took out a card as a union bricklayer and constructed 2 large cottages and a swimming pool. His rate of work was 1 brick a minute, still in a hurry. But the days of peace and leisure were all too short-lived for Mr. Churchill and Europe. He made speeches about the rising power of Nazi Germany, but nobody listened. But when Germany invaded Poland in 1939, marking the beginning of World War II, Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain of England offered Churchill his old job of First Lord of the Admiralty. And when Chamberlain resigned in 1940, Mr. Churchill became Prime Minister. In his first speech as Prime Minister, Mr. Churchill said, "I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat." What a strange time for a rock concert. Winston Churchill led England to victory in World War II. But 11 weeks after it ended, he was removed from office. But scrapper that he was, he regained the office in 1951. Winston Churchill once said, "When I get to heaven, I mean to spend a considerable portion of my first million years painting." But you can bet that he's spending much of his time as he did on Earth, making sure there will always be an England. And that's our story on Churchill, and of course this is the board upon which we play round 2. Now, Bart, because you came in first in round 1, you know what you get 4 hit men, and here they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sheila, for coming in second, you get 3, and here they are. Now, how many's that? Everybody knows it's 7. And keep things nice and even, Woodrun. You know we always give the champ 7 hit men, and here they are. Although sometimes, Woodrun, I don't know if you need 7. All right, in this round, the champion is going to fight each challenger 1 at a time. Players, a right answer knocks out an opponent's man, a wrong answer knocks out one of your own men. But when a challenger loses a man, remember, he or she must stop playing while the champion then takes on the other challenger. The champion is trying to wipe out all the challenger's men. Each challenger is trying to wipe out the champion's last man. The winner of the game will go on to try for our Triple Crown worth $10,000 in cash. Okay, Bart. You came in first in round 1. You get to decide who goes up against Woodrun first, you or Sheila.
She can have the honors.
Oh, what a nice guy. Okay, it's up to Sheila to go up against Woodrun. Here is the first question, ladies. Churchill was born in what kind of room? Sheila.
Cloakroom.
You are right, Sheila. Champ hit and lose the man. Well, right off attacking you, Woodrun.
No.
All right. Whose old seat did Churchill take in the House of Commons? Ah, he took his father's seat. All right, maybe that's why he took it. His father never spoke, evidently. All right, it's still with Sheila and Woodrun. Here's the question. Churchill once said, I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and what? Sheila.
Sweat.
Sweat is right, Sheila. No sweat for you. You're taking care of Woodrun. Down to 5. Next question. Who once told Churchill that she would poison him?
Astor.
If he were her husband, Astor is right. Woodrun here leads another one. Down to 4. Churchill first became a national hero during what war? Sheila.
Boer.
Boer War is right, Sheila. And you are no Boer. You have whittled the champ down from 7 to 3. Okay, Woodrun, you got a battle on your hands. Here's the next question. Winston's folly referred specifically to Sheila.
The introduction of the tanks.
The what weapon? Tank? Yes, we are going to take tank, and that means losing the man. All right, Woodrun down to 2. Here's the next question. What happened to Churchill 11 weeks after Sheila?
He was ousted out of the prime minister.
After World War II ended, indeed, he was removed from office. Woodrun, you are in the throes of being removed from office as well. You are down to your last lonely hitman, and you are surrounded with hitmen left and right. What a battle on your hands. Sheila has 3 hitmen left, and if that weren't bad enough, you've got Bart with 4. Bart doesn't know if he's going to get in the game. All right, Sheila, back to seriousness. If you answer this question correctly, I'm sure you're aware of the fact that you become the new champion. You would have done it without Bart's help. Here's the question. Lady Astor said that you would...
Poison in his tea.
But poison in Churchill's what? He is right! And you're the new champion, Sheila! Oh, what a round! Congratulations, Sheila! You beat a tough champ. Did it all yourself, I must say. Amazing. Woodrun, you didn't have a shot.
I know. She was fast.
She was fast. If you walk away with $18,300, that's pretty fast.
I'm thrilled.
Well,
I had a great time. I will.
Best of luck with your children. Have a good trip.
Very much. Thank you.
Thanks for being our champ. Bart, you didn't even get a shot.
No.
You gave it over. Your strategy was you gave it to Sheila, right? To go first, to be a gentleman, and it backfired on you. Okay, Bart, thanks for being with us. You got yourself $300. Now, Sheila, as our champion, you know where you're going. You're going to have an opportunity to go for our Triple Crown with $10,000 in cash. And we'll see if Sheila can do it right after this. Triple Crown. And Sheila, let's review that strategy a little bit, at least on part of Bart. He passed it to you to begin with, assuming that you'd knock off several of her hitmen and he'd get back in, but you went right through the champion, and I don't think that's been done other than one time before, where the champ's been taken right straight through. Well done. Congratulations. I guess the baby helped you out a little bit? I figured as much. All right. 60 seconds, Triple Crown. Here's how it works. On that board over there, you see 8 columns, and each column is a number of circles. Now, you call out a column, and I'll read you a question based on either of the 2 stories you've heard today. If you're right, you'll change that first circle in that column into a money man, and I'll read you another question. And I'll continue to read you questions until you've changed every single circle in that column into a money man, or until you make a mistake. Now, if you make a mistake or pass on a question, you know you got to call out another column. You fill up 1 column with money men, you're going to win $1,000. You fill up 2 columns with money men, you're going to win $2,000. And finally, you fill up 3 columns with money men, and you're going to win $10,000 in cash. But Sheila, you're not going to see how many circles are in each column because we're going to keep your back to the board as it is now for the entire game. And we're going to reset that old board pattern. All right, let's set the board. The game and the clock will begin when you call out your first column. And Sheila, may all your columns have very few circles.
Column 1.
1. How many lines did Humphrey Bogart have in his first acting job? Right. Name the member of Parliament who didn't like Churchill.
Astor.
Right. Agents get what percentage of an actor's
10%.
salary? Right. Name the school which young Winston attended.
Danhurst.
Right. What was Lana Turner sipping through a straw at Schwab's?
A Malted.
Right. There's your first column. Another.
2.
2. A list of agencies is carried by what union?
SAG.
Right. Name the country which Germany invaded to start World War II.
Holland.
Right. What percentage of SAG members make a living from acting?
5.
Right. Carol Burnett studied drama at what university?
Juilliard.
Another column.
3.
3. World War I broke out in what year?
1940.
Another column.
4.
4. What do the initials ICM stand for?
Pass.
Another
Column
column.
5.
5. What type of school was Sandhurst?
Military Academy.
Right. Germany invaded Poland in what year?
1940.
Another column.
Column 8.
8. What paper refers to an agent as a 10%er?
Variety.
Right. Name the man who was Prime Minister of England when World War II started.
Neville Chamberlain.
Right. Burt Reynolds used baby pictures to get on job on what TV show?
M-Man.
Ah, it was M Squad, but you got yourself $1,000, Sheila. You went up column 1. You missed column 2 by 1. And on column 8, you said M-Man. Is that what you said? All right, well done, $1,000. We'll be right back right after this. We're back, and Sheila, you got yourself $1,000 on a Triple Crown added to your $200 from round 1 is a grand total of $1,200. A nice start. You were really going super fast at the beginning, and then you got a little caught up. But you get another time if you come back and beat those challengers, okay?
Okay.
We'll see you next time on Hitman. Bye-bye.
Some of our players received Echo Flint knife set with solid mahogany storage block, mahogany finished handles, and stainless vanadium steel blades for years of outstanding service. Also, wind down and really relax. Lipton Herbal Tea. It's a soothing blend of natural herbs, spices, and fruit, and absolutely no caffeine. It's delicious. Plus, from across the Pacific comes Hawaiian Tropic natural tanning lotions and oils. Plus, this attractive Hawaiian Tropic inflatable raft.
Coming Monday, April 4th, a fresh, exciting game show that gives struggling young couples the chance to win their own home. It's Dream House, hosted by Bob Eubanks. Then stay tuned for the premiere of the new Battle Stars. It's nutty, it's unpredictable, and it's fun, and it's all on NBC.